the same theme as the previous publication. So it covers shifts in revenue, it covers shifts in like operating expenditure, and shifts in capital expenditure, as well as cash flow management. But I think sort of like a key theme in this version of the publication is the impact of COVID, which was obviously a significant event, last year and this year as well. So a lot of the results also cover, what the impact of COVID has been on those specific, financial indicators. And then the third chapter covers trends in household income, tariff structures, as well as the affordability of municipal bills. The expected shock due to COVID is reflected in the growth rates for 2019-20 as well as the 2020-21 financial year. And just based on the analysis, the size of the expected shock varies among cities. So some cities assume that revenue growth will be lower than the historical growth rates. Other cities assume that revenue will be in line with their historic growth rates or pre-COVID growth rates, whereas other cities assume higher growth rates in 2019-20, 2020-21 than their historic average growth rates. And I think this, the variance in the assumed growth rates between cities pre and post-COVID points to the high level of uncertainty surrounding the full impact of COVID on municipal revenues.
And so cities are facing this situation where they're increasingly struggling to generate revenues from their non-domestic customers and their high-income households. Because of slowdowns in the economy, and of course COVID has exacerbated all of that, while they also have increasing numbers of households who are needing subsidy.
Research suggests that 8 to 10 South Africans experienced a reduction in income over the lockdown, as a result of COVID. And even prior to that, the trend in household income has been a decreasing trend, and in some cases, household incomes have been stagnant. So there has been either, like in some cases, a decline in household income, and in other cases, the trend in household income has been stagnant. So this obviously does have implications on affordability, specifically affordability of municipal bills.
Than it has been over the past 5 years. Cities are still finding that they're needing to use those funds to subsidize other costs and not purely the provision of free services. And we've actually seen a trend in cities of tightening up on who they give services free to. In the past, many cities gave, for example, 6 kiloliters of water and 50 kilowatt hours of electricity free to every person in the municipality. There was simply a free allocation in your tariff. These days, all the cities offer separate tariffs, one for domestic customers and one for what they call lifeline customers, and only those lifeline customers receive free services. So cities are finding it necessary to tighten up the way they target the provision of those free services. In the early days, in the local government white paper, there was this idea that we would gradually expand the support we provided. In actual fact, I think what we're seeing is cities tightening up on the support and trying to target that support more accurately as the fiscal space in which they operate becomes more constrained.